We're back, and it's time for our news files. This is where we talk about some other stories, big stories around sports. We got two of them today. It's going to be High C and Gunslinger. Gunslinger, why don't you go first? Tell us your news file. We'll see what you have to say.
So, coming up into the draft this year, obviously one of the top prospects, Trevor Lawrence. Could change over the year because he got COVID. He hasn't been playing incredible lately. But many people say that the Jets are going to move on from Sam Darnold and take Trevor Lawrence. There is a possibility of trading with Sam Darnold. They have talked about it vaguely, but not an extreme amount. And they've talked about trying to get another first-round pick for him. And a team that I believe would be a perfect situation for that would be the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
I think if you traded him to the San Francisco 49ers for a first-round pick, I believe that the 49ers could have a Super Bowl caliber team. Because I think Darnold was just placed in a bad position on the Jets. And I think that the Jets would have a better chance because they could take either Lawrence or Fields and then take an O-lineman in the third round, in the second first-round pick. So does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say two things. Number one, in my opinion, the reason Darnold's been playing bad is because Adam Gase is still there as a head coach.
Yeah.
The other thing is I was going to say trade him to a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When Brady retires, who are they going to have? I can't see any franchise quarterbacks coming up in the draft except this draft.
So
Unless some guy shoots out of nowhere 2022 or 2021. So I'd say trade him to the Buccaneers for a first-round pick. Get an O-lineman or another position player like a wide receiver with that pick. And then the Jets, if they go 0-16 or 1-15 this year, they'll probably have at least a 4-win improvement next year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
yeah, it's interesting because the what Gunslinger said, trading him to the 49ers, if you think about it, the only hole they have is quarterback. They have everything else, and if they were to get somebody, the trick that the 49ers would need to do is they would need to trade for him during this season. Right after the playoffs, trade for him and don't do anything. Make it look like he's not going to be the starter. And then whenever the season starts, put him on the field. Because then teams won't expect, they wouldn't be planning for Sam Darnold. Where the last time they saw him, his O-line was trash. He gets sacked every other play. And that's the main reason. Sam Darnold's not a mobile quarterback. That's why he's not been doing good on the Jets, because they have the worst O-line in the NFL.
yeah.
And that's why the Jets would need to pick Justin Fields instead of Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence can throw a dime, but he can't get out of the pocket as well as Justin Fields.
Yeah, they can both get out, but just not as well.
Yeah, Justin Fields cannot throw as good, but he's more of a Michael Vick person. He has good accuracy, and he can run out of the pocket if he needs to. And if the Jets were to draft Justin Fields and the 49ers were to trade for Sam Darnold, they could possibly trade Jimmy G for another first-round pick.
Oh, yeah. Hi, C, do you have a news file for us?
Yes,
Real quick.
I do. So we talked last week about actually predicted the Miami and Los Angeles Chargers game. We know that we were all like, Tua, he's got great, man. Tua's gonna be great, but Herbert's gonna be better. Wrong. Tua,
I was actually right.
Yeah.
We said that Herbert was better. That's not true.
Herbert is okay. I actually was right on that game. I told the bros on another meeting that we had. My prediction last year, if you guys remember, not last year, last week, if you guys remember, I said that the Dolphins are going to win, but Herbert was going to have better passing stats. I was right. Herbert passed for 4 yards and as many touchdowns, but the Dolphins still won.
This is my point, though. Tua threw for the same amount of touchdowns, and so far this year, he is undefeated in the NFL. Since taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, he really started at the end, but he's played 3 full games. He's undefeated. He hasn't lost yet. Are the Dolphins going to make the playoffs from being one of the worst? They had the 4th or 5th round pick last year, and now they're going to go all the way. Bruce, what do you think?
They had the 5th pick in the NFL draft. But if you looked at them before, the only need that they had was quarterback. And they picked the perfect person because their O-line is not the best O-line. But if you pick the right person, it'll look like the best O-line. Tua, like I was talking about with the 49ers, the Jets, if they were to pick Justin Fields, he could run out of the pocket. That's what was going on with Tua. Just he rolls out of the pocket and passes it still because he has decent receivers. They picked the perfect guy for that organization to help them thrive. And if you look at Ryan Fitzpatrick, whenever he was throwing the ball, he didn't roll out of the pocket and he got sacked a bunch, and that's why they lost games with him.
That's true. Okay, so those are our news files. And next episode is my favorite, the top 10. We're going to do offensive linemen and defensive linemen coming up.